Hello, my name is Raven Burns, owner of Rain Tree Spirit, which is a metaphysical product store. So please visit raintreespirit.com to check out the various items we have there to enhance your spiritual practice, okay? And I'll provide the links below, of course. One thing I wanted to talk about in the new year is the importance of developing a spiritual practice. A lot of times we gather knowledge through books and through sermons and maybe movies about the spiritual life. But when we do that, we're really just learning about spirituality. We aren't actually embodying it. So the best thing we can do, in addition to learning as much as we can, is to actually add certain practices to our daily life to put into practice the things that we're learning about when we read. So the most important thing is that it's consistent and regular. So anything that we do regularly not only becomes a habit which sustains itself over time, but it's something that you really begin to reap the benefits of it because it becomes a part of who you are. It becomes a part of the fabric of who you are as an individual. So, for example, when you begin a meditation practice, at first you may really be needing to remind yourself, and maybe you feel like it's difficult and so on and so forth. But when it becomes a habit as opposed to just a random thing you do here and there, then you really start to reap the benefits. Doing it randomly can be okay, but you really aren't going to reap the full benefits of what meditation can do. Meditation can allow you to separate yourself from the things that happen in a way that allows you to observe it. You observe yourself, you learn about yourself and how you respond to different things, and you learn to really put it into perspective. The further back you step from something, the more clear it is. And when we're knee deep in a problem, we feel like we have no perspective on it. And that's why many times we go running around to other people asking for advice. We're trying to get that perspective artificially by asking other people. And there's nothing wrong with seeking counsel. In fact, it's wise to seek counsel, not so much as advice, but just as a way to find a new way of looking at a particular situation that can, increase your own information and help you make the right decision. But ultimately, the decision has to come from you. So learning how to get perspective on your own without running around to other people is extremely valuable. So let's say you have a common event, like maybe you're on the way to work and someone not only cuts you off, but then flips you the bird in the rearview mirror. Now this is the beginning of your day, right? So you're, it can really snowball into thinking, this day is already messed up. You arrive to work angry, so you're exuding, negative energy. You want to talk to people about what happened and complain about it. And all of this is just an endless feedback loop of negativity that will not do anything to solve the situation because it's one of those things you can't solve it. It happened and then it's over. It's unfortunate that somebody would behave in such a way, but there are many such people in this world. So you're going to run across one or two every day in your lifetime. So the point of a spiritual practice is that you learn to look at things like that and put them in perspective. Now that individual, who knows what's going on with them, but it clearly has nothing to do with you. You're minding your own business. And of course, it's good to look at, were you doing something wrong? Were you driving too slow? Were you swerving? Probably not, but it's always good to look at how you could have contributed to the situation. But don't stay there. It's likely to have nothing to do with you. That's how this person expresses themselves. That's their problem, their own karma to deal with. It's not yours. And that's easy to say, but a spiritual practice will allow you to actually go there immediately, where it's like, yeah, that's unfortunate, and then you keep going. Okay, so how do you start? The first thing to do is really set up a time. So the biggest excuse people make for anything that they're not doing is time. So start with that. And these days, almost everyone has a smartphone or some kind of electronic device with a timer on it. So just set your alarm. To start off with, 10, 15 minutes is fine. The most important thing, I don't care if it's 1 minute, is to make it consistent. So do it every day. Do it for 2 weeks at least. Try to do it for a month before you make any changes or adjustments. So let's say you normally get up at 7 o'clock a.m. So you're going to set your clock for 6:45 a.m. Because you're probably going to resist for the first 5 minutes, and then the next 10 minutes you'll start your practice. Now, so what will that practice be? That part you can be creative with. I'm a huge fan of meditation because I think there is no substitute for it. I think learning how to gain control of your mind is absolutely essential. But it doesn't have to be traditional sitting meditation. You could do a walking meditation. You could get up and do part of a yoga video. You could get up and you could light a candle and pray to the goddess or to God or to whoever your higher power is. You could get up and stare at a crystal. You could get up and do some journaling. Okay, there are many different ways to learn to give yourself some perspective. So these are a few ideas. But the most important thing is that you make use of that time. Okay, so once it becomes a habit, it will become something that you can't do without. Now, whatever your actual mode of practice is, that can change and develop and increase over time. You may start with 10 minutes of meditation, say, and then increase it to 15 to 20 to 30. That part, you can use your intuition to decide when you want to make that kind of a change. But the first thing we want to do is set aside time. I like the morning time because it's symbolic. It's a way of telling the goddess or your higher power that they are the priority in your life. And even if it is just, say, lighting a candle and saying a prayer, that's fine. It's telling yourself and it's telling the universe that the eternal things are what's important to you, and you're starting the day from that perspective. So that way, if you go out into your car and then somebody flips you off, that is a minor detail in your journey, because you're not here to squabble and battle with small-minded individuals. You're here for a loftier purpose. You're here to connect to your reason for being and to make a positive difference on the planet. So setting up a daily practice is essential for that. So that's all I have for today. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions about how to determine what your spiritual practice should be, you can always shoot me a question through instant message. You can visit my website, raintreespirit.com, and contact me there. There I also have a blog where I go into some of these concepts much more deeply than I do on video. So until next time, have a beautiful and blessed day, and I will see you next time.